What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Nits 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Nits 100.9.
Neat FM yo.
What's yet the Torchlight Jumedie Ewo Nits 100.9.
Neat FM yo.
Jamagana Fonina akwa ba de ba neat 100.9. Ene baby bia wo bia no bibi sase pomu te say traffic ne te say. Wa point adwuma wo point adwuma na wo kɔ fie de fie te say. Ekwan ma choki ekwan na congested. Sana ti ana me ba cho wo kɔ ya bɔkɔ. Because ye nyina ye nim say ya rush hour. Rush hour ni nyina ne say enye ordinary rush hour. But we no eye Xmas rush hour. Xmas rush hour no so de nim say duru ha. Aya no obia ni abre obia eye ne noama. Mo me toto no ma toto wo me di dwa edi wo mudwa. Enti eba ne sana na ekwan mu aye bibia wo ho. Enu nti ba bibia wo bia no. Bomade say obehye ne nso. Na wakan wo say wo kokro ma abekɔ kro mu ntem. Wo kokro ma obesi mu ntem na kwaya ono ma ntentem. Enye say edwa bi na wudi wo krom na ebema ade asan wo a. O kwa no aye ne ntem na wo koye ne ntem na free krom a. Ekrom ne beda o kakra na adwadifo no so pon a. Omo ho etima han omo. Na wo koi wan kontem wabo ape so na wo ne adwadifo na efom ka. Ba ne sana de stress akwa akoto adwadifo no so. Ye no adwadifo na de stress ato yeso pa. Ete wo kwa na ejese wan se enhyehye ete se wo ye nie. Ese me content wasora ho mache o chena wasora ho mache. Why ono ma nyina ten na ejese bibia ekoso. Na enoma bo nso te sen ewodwom. Seze wo purchasing power no to purchase. Ejese wo 2 minutes obetumi de ato ade. Eno ne asembisa no. Wo don sa hye obotom a wuyi a utumi to ade. Utumi to ade. Okay. Eno ne asembisa no. Eti wo ye bibia na wo spending so a na why careful. And they say we spend it unnecessarily. Because unnecessarily now a relative, me a minim. Say a relative. But and one is obey a hwiye keke na America. In this kind of bra so nya kakra tu botum. 80 year kodi bronyan. Na so they always say obeji weni sa na watutu aguma. No problem. Wa uzika. Me wa uzika. Me avutu keke na bede ma. Dia ope e na obetimi aye. Yamwa kwa badeba torchlight jumedi so ene nsema kodo ne baba behwe na yanwo se eye emra na ehyese akeye betumi atu eye fom agudie ewo yakwaye agoduo mu no samra no eyade aben ehyebo se wombeyi samra no e de free ho li 2642 na semra na enei aban ne kan se wombe ye free ho no me ne woka sei aban revoke li 2462 eno ne mra bi ana nanka ye de etu fom agudie ewo eye ye kwaye agodo manya se kwa brentuo ni nyina no ye betumi atu fom agudie ni wom na emom ne ye wo belt bi wom a eye kwa brentuo ye betumi atu fom agudie wom se mra yi ene behye na ye kasa ide me pacho se mra no aban eye free ho ye kasa aban ye free ho a aban ne sign de mra no ekọ Ghana mrahye bedwafie eti ene ya Ghana mrahye bedwafie wo magi eye mra no e de free ho eno so mu nsem a aba beto ho eno no wo mo egi e de free ho na ye kwa ya nimu ene ye ba bebisa eye the conflict ewo ekoso ewo boko all these years ene ekoba se eye otumfo otekokoso eye otumfo se tutu otoso mienu asante hene yede ensemni nyina si ne nan so se obetimi ahwe na waka boko nsensemi article call so bombardia ehwe ekan etena so ene woman no ma break kakra no ma ba womu kan sa no ma fanu ni nyina kokohye o manhia ahimfie enam so ema eye otumfo enane nansa wa present reports e dia magana mampanyin a kire na dwuma okoye ye no nsunsuanso a afiri mu aba we ni yesa obi adi nkunim anaase obi adi fo ba we ni mediation say ye beka asomdwe ye beka ansem na ye de anom asomdwe abua na after the presentation and abemu mpanyufo anaase o mampanyin edin krata edifan kasamafo so de betu dwa extra recommendations anaase andamo mampanyin ba betu na implementation process say ye be chance na se bibi ewo tumfo krata eni ma ya hwa ka ho asem etienam so emeno so betu dwa yenka bi nhyiemu ena yenya eye enkrata efiri na yiri ho eno so ba ye chese fa no o kire se enya de a womo eje eye sa report na tum a just wo ma reject report na ye sa fa no ye kan amantana de o ye family amantana nalirugu e wo fan se wo boko enclave no mo ana nalirugu ni ho
nalirugu wo northeast
honey north east.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Boko no ye upper west.
No, upper east.
Sorry,
yes.
upper east.
Upper east.
Yeah.
Nalerigo is part of northeast. I think Nalerigo is the capital for northeast or so.
The ATM BBC say say police IGP the reinforcement e ho. Because ye nya ne tie say nkrofo bi e hyehye adan.
Yes.
And na one promises say one be hye adan no more.
Yeah.
I say mebu na work on anything e man bisa on na mehu say de tie.
Yes, I think near me tea we we ni say almost say
that's a good way name ye mama.
Almost na what say na lerugu omo hene no o paramount chief no oyi obi say oni be ko enko represent no.
Okay.
In the mediation process na ekoso ashade hene ahimfie ho no nti oti asema ye papa otumfo se tutu be kan oti ni ya o ka say I said a certain matter has been settled understanding be aba e baby and so na lerigo hene no the paramount chief no oyi obi se on be represent ono e ho but I think when the report no buy na anko ni senior ebia na lerigo hene no pese na anka ekono e na omo say ebia wakoje sika bia na ase bibi nti omo ko shade ne fie eno na ma ahihye no ekoso wo ho no
na one more person can call the same
that one
because mediation process
yes of course but I say what you be wan ko gina wana mu say oh hwe na bibi nye se emame na onipa kura kwa ebia wan ko ye ne se na wo pe na akoto chima wo baby nti enu na ama amanfo bi ko hihye omo say ono no fie de omo ahye ono nkase ne fie but then we are still hearing the stories we don't know we can't authenticate it but what we also know is say ahihye kakra bi ekoso kakra enye kakra ahihye ekoso
emanated from mediation process no report otumfo de ekoto Ghana mampenye let's say related
to it
yes anything na me person me sure because asama yaka na enim say dia asomdwe beba na esunsunsu anso ni bia kopie na lerugo think say maburu na ewo no eye o madwen say said na nka asem na te say ekono anko sa ba sanye na lerugo paramount chief na te asem no so no eye party
ne rep no gi ne obi tumu ebia no mo mpese ne rep ne be gi atum anything because when you listen to the report na OSEI na de ema his essence John the money mama no e kire o say assembi na papa ne gitu mu enunti na ekon sa enti ebia na ade na mo mpese say no mo mpese enioma no kono ankon sa so they believe that obi na akwaje enioma betu atuma na mo mpese obeji atum that is why ahihye ne ekoso ho no but all in all no what we want from the Boko people, let me say, is our conflict. Say, peace room. I thought, say, they should have brought a finality to this whole issue. Because I would normally say that, look, this whole matter, it is retiring the development of the Boko enclave. Boko Nanka Asumjo, you would have seen a lot of development and I was happy when President Mama was saying, we should establish a certain fund to make sure that we develop that side of the area. And Nanka say,
but say Nairi, a major topic I ever can once a meeting. Also, free northern part of this country, I'm saying normally will be private, yeah. It's in Abusia, Nalugu, Yaka say, police for the reinforcement at the Akokwa. Just a woman, I imagine some cockroaches fear because said ya a man criteria mono. Say a year Mabuni Jane say, Nipa Oko Jina, Nalugu, a year paramount chief. Na nemono okojino maybe to ma ente say nanka ojitum enintiama emebunu no ebu afu eti enuso mu se mo ho nti bebisa say de ekosue then what does it mean mediation process ekoso no edemfasodie bi ebetimi abana eti eno no enanwumre ye ba be have quality discussions about the akoso na afeni ho kwan be fa so na no pomesebre yetimi because conflict dey ekwanyo ya yenso ye ho ntoyen. It is a me a kahwasem. Na Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. One more tro for penny a your friend no. Miamina penny a you ras some more agree. And then yanin wufia. Ninja say ye baby di brunya. Ye ka food and beverages. So far, normal air cosen or would you medium air cosen. Food and beverages. One more I chess utumu say, one man doko dear ye bedi brunya say biscuits nomini a dear. Na wo hwe eye ensa doko domni ade wo mo bomodin a chese wo mutumi de breye no sanfo mo kabom ko church of opanyin ene oboye nchen a ye no no ba bedi nkomo badansa na meko eho no mesre bigusu sasemi maka na bigusu kase mesre eye health minister honorable Kwabena Minta Kanto say games piloting na omo sha so say ye can health a essential service ye mfa ni agro piloting na ye sha se games no edi yenya ninya edi ene say no intimi spreading call eye ayaresa bia akodo ayewo eti sesi ameka say ye was series of reports a kire say obi beko ayaresa bia me akasa be personal experience maka koforudia mabodin koforudia ayaresa bia kesiem eye Kofodia government hospital ho wokwa ye timika tro say mame mesra say health insurance no enhye da nya adwuma nti wo ba ya abo awon nti wo betua sika say atua we asema me kan enche eye last week ya asem na me kan all because say eye information systems no health information systems no enya adwuma asoya na me nya ne tie say wo mo pilot rich ene de ekeka ho. But say, yeah, say since when? Because apomodin some there, I think we shouldn't joke with it. So, apomodin said we shouldn't joke with it. Da ben na yebe run the pilot no, na yetimidia chalking the success, and son na yebe running across the health facilities. And what you may mo. It is really disturbing. Say, so what you say be a binumwa, obekono, near catch say you have to go and pay. So, instead say be a go be no alternative way. Ye betimi edi ahwe eye patients no ebinom okwa no mu demand sika eya ban ayaresa bia na asa ayaresa bia ese fata se womoje health insurance any other matters eti wokwa na a delay and a records and say your system nya adwuma complaints e koso no enuti na bisusu say na games no so aban ni mpose lames for contract newu eti games ne beba na nka beya nanka womo ene lamps and collaborate na womo and run concurrent in kakra nanka transition no intimate taking place na transition intimate taking place because as we speak we don't know when you betuma run a pilot in a way na fe you betuma extend your call health facilities akodo ayewo yememo na ma ye no ma ye be ko akwaje ayaresa no yetimi nya wotoso eti Mr. Honorable Kwabena Minta Kanto, the health minister, say wadaroma normally be ho ye hu said ya airco I say to me fast track it because apomudin mun sam de ye ntimi nka say ye be delay anase ye baby be say limbs for so ba bontin beke kan sem ebe kan say wo mo ye Ghanaian own wo mo fa data bi antu kwan wo mo kire ba bi a data ne wo em say sense we me say me demanded from the health ministry say wo mo maye hu say the limbs for kan no nokure bi wo ma na nokure bi because say Ghana for bi adwen a wo say na limbs for no wo mo ti ama no ba bi no makukuru data de akose India wo mo so say ente sa e no ma ba beka e de a kire san report ni nyina no I have demanded from the health ministry the entire me interest woman say ye ka apomudin mu nsem a we shouldn't joke with it apomudin mu nsem de wo betima yare me betima yare eti your systems bi ha ye adwuma bebo apomudin ne ya ntwe ne ho techema e the problem na be brain eti me say honorable minister wadan roma normally bi ha eti say fast track you say eti say ye re-engagements normally I think we have to do that na emwa young omamufo na ye be kwakwa je ayaresa. It's very important. And when you're parent as I way, make a no. Very important. It's just a miakasame what the personal experience. I will go for the ayara sabia. So it is a get to me who quite pa ye be fast na bibi to me akoye. Ora Samo Agri or ye General Secretary Edema Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Brand it is a metal catcho. Hey,
the last time was around March.
Samo. Na bibi aboko. My microphone here, man.
That's right.
That's right.
Businesses name. Your friends consumers are like.
Yeah.
Obia benya hondi na businesses so it may produce.
Okay.
Once a consumer no then it means a business is so.
And okay. Yeah.
Na ankobani sa dia be have be. Na quick one.
Yeah.
Health insurance.
Yeah.
Health asma we can. Me I am here baby.
Okay.
Say you to me introduce be a friend of COVID tax.
Okay.
At the bottom you. I to me anxious the health sector no.
Yeah, the be baby.
Yeah, be on baby. Na kasa 1% no ye de ko share COVID
yeah,
COVID
health sector na
na kasa NHI e increasing by 1% nka ye engine free ho
akebeka ho
boa amama na tumpon akọ na fi premium ya etua no
yeah
akola 6 cedis for the year
yeah
ukoye private insurance 10 cedis kwa NG for the month so ha there no wetua bia 30 cedis for the month na 50 we penny more Ombeji around 100 and 150. Ebikraji 200 for the month. Inti adenti na ye health insurance no. Yen tumunko say 100 cedis a year. And 50 cedis a year.
Nanka wanka yen tu premium ni mo.
So are there no. Because we share say sisi a ye ka say Oko hospital insurance no can only give you access to folder.
Yeah.
Then it's a big problem. Nyakani na ndo no better. Ndo no koto ya saying. One spend the crowd 200 cedis, but everybody is able to afford. It is a 200 cedis for the year. Na say you be nyasa apomodeno, you be my yendro, you be my sanya mani na. It will go a long way. Oh, ama NHI no ejina. It is 6 cedis no more no. In fact,
but I know one more catch as a premium no. It is meant for administrative charges. So
what happens to the others? Into what there, since I pay na bibi, Beko hospital just with your card.
Yeah.
In dress said the ma ubenya, sa mahama ke or there be ni na yesika. Into to me kase and no be any free. But say 300 cedis. At the can sa NHI charges are AGR. I'm telling you, you go to the hospital, even if you have to go through surgery. Ubeko ako afam to my prefer akufie a hu beto ubenya quality service but na ekosu ide ye de yankwa na edi agro nti na de bia obi se nkofo ko hospital a enche yesi o de no ko na we free de ko na we free government sectors nankasa they are not even performing because there's no money nti no ese ye hwe kwan ebetumi afa so ama the system no ejina a very good thing. Insurance policy no, good, but compare it to the private sector. 1,000 plus a year. Now we just 6 cities and not 30 cities a year. How can it be more efficient? How can it be efficient? Internet so much premium na etuano 100 cities a year is okay. Now if you near man for opportunity to register for other services. Say me premium na me pay na me to me to 500 cities. Let me go and pay and get the premium. My card will tell the kind of service I get. And I'll be on also person also in your friends saying basic services. Say 100 cities obenya. Say me to 500 cities a year. Na me kwanem pese de me go to VIP department.
Yeah.
It means my friends saying my card support that. My premium supports that.
Yeah.
Internet me akọ share ho. So are there no. Na ye nyina obi an my opportunity no to choose what we can afford. So then the baseline should be 100 cities. Okay. And then the others should be graduated in a way.
So if you can afford.
Ambulance. Now we are no person do kwa buchi ne kwa we. So 2,000 a month na a year now bet you pay. And then get the service that you want. But the way I don't know eventually I'm training year
ebegu. Oh. I say managing a year. That's a pan no one so intervention out the other. Because I can't promote the Munsama or Mamu dear Yemobo. Yemobo pa COVID ebe expose you a big time. Everyone who says send up promote the Munsam you know baby.
Pushing for that dialysis we are. Na say Obeko hospital almost every 3 days and once a week. No kono kwa kutia sesika. Podoama aban and now whoever is providing the services na onya ho sesika no. Anhwe ni property a wonyina ubeton wi ansa we ubeton wi kra na honto oh nti wanye lucky na say creator no anhwe kwan bi so an save life and na say one by far one contema na che say
December break say de nyame ama eno a
nti no your best ministry no they should reconsider the premium that we pay so that people can get the optimum healthcare.
Okay. Better say na yamra business way. Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Yatamon kanche. Ya read the budget. Ya normal be brain now so a buying intervention, tax reform. Say by one more engagement there.
In fact, engagement in there akoso.
Okay.
We share the finance ministry, but I think say if I will be right, we're the first association that more engaging here because we buy an anche and I see the no started say a fund into my preference. Now for the cost of goods on the market. Next no say see the neighbor from there and the enhwe say bet in yamaso. It is that time no engage say enhwe say name mo dey ban. But that time before the friends engagement na nkrofo ekra nyama ne dey ban bebre na no omotumi ati nyama no so aba at least 7%.
Because of is it exchange rates na
the stability of the currency
even
though it was higher at that time, but we share between February and now between latter part of January ABC first week in April we say stability
that stability be your
until you draw May no na it take him by surprise afi free fall or started also again the value nema sa call no buy ntia buy na say to years at time ni na association no was vibrant on the air no your friends say ECG in somewhere buy and utility how industry must break even their production and then also the friends saying recent smuggling which is also having a toll on the economy. See, we have to take steps to draw the attention of government on it. Nti yebomodia ebiana a friend is saying monitoring the airwave was a bit of a problem, but we did what we have to do. You for the past few weeks and after months we've been on the news for a very good reason. Now we share your friend is saying so nya ye ka ho asem se yenhwe na nema bi wo ho no ma yenyin free ho no because ye no ye hwe near a year for the previous administration, where the city had its way free for introduction of several taxes, increasing the existing ones and then introducing new ones. And also no, you share na emboa saying businesses. Ebinimu ka say oh, niema ye krade ba no. Too much inti too ye too ma. Ebema local industry no I produce it. But the problem is utuma why inti na utum na timemi for ne beto no. Punishment. Bankrofon consumers who are utu sika koto ade it's a punishment say ye betu niema na fi watu sika akwa
se nanka enoma nka yetimi ye wa hane de ana
ampa but the fundamental issue drawing that is underlining the friend is saying the problem the cost of utility, the high cost of taxes. So I don't know. If it comes to labor, we are cheaper in some of this West African zone. But utility ni your friend is saying the cost of CD that will also go up. Any your friend is saying taxes are yetuano eno enema yentu mi ema ejuma nko enim. Nti so be ye ejuma no ka say oh me there I will continue doing it. Now you have say na or ye because only choice. But the choices the very moment everything goes up you better to name mu no. Ono no say anya hwe. Me de be ma ne obeto no eti. Nti wo kona say bibi ye 1 cedi, wo be call the next time na ye 3 cedis a. Say 2 cedis no kofa we. Wo be struggle and some to me ato. What on so afi wontumi ntododo na nka first no what on.
No.
Nti na che say me say import na me ya. Import no be form. Say local production na me ya because of the high tax, the utilities no. Tembia no be way. We share the whole of last year. Within 2 years, now you are to electricity more for 52 or 58%. So I there no. This year from May from February,
February,
December announcement or yes, they be take effect and November announcement
they be take effect next year.
First increment no more now. 9.8% in electricity, 15.2% in water.
Yeah,
who can pay this? Well, now we share near ma ECG edekoye say yen na yema mo increment because ejuma mo ye no omo boka first na nkombeko inflation nam 56% no eno munya 58% increment eno ye hu hwe system losses omo ye no so huge say if they are able to curtail that even to 2% meaning light ebetuano to be cheaper, but the chunk of that money is going waste. They borrow, it goes waste because ECG ono na distributor Vaco in a producer friends saying nothing
nothing development
omo
netco yes
ono eso producer na ode amawo ECG se kona koche na jiska ne brem ko ton na jiska ne brem wo kwa osema boka nti ombe de no ma aye omodwuma na omoye no na be sia ne se omoso esafe no se sika ne mba kwan ombe fa so omegina no eso omoye nti then they will come for their demand. Side demand, they will do it through ECG. Now, most ECG, because of inefficiencies. If we are able to reduce the system losses, see, I am almost about 30%. OTA near Parliament, your friend is saying, Public Account Committee, near my somoyeno, anka, or more expenditures, they rather double the expenditure without approval. Which means they have the money. Problem no. In any case, obi o person ye electricity juma and or any business. Now a person will introduce any measures. No. You invest and then you charge the consumer. But you don't ask the consumer to pay for you to expand. No. You expand and then tell me say it cost me a lot of money. Into no SM is me too. I won't can say me first can now. Now acquire expansion. When in actual fact the system losses, the inefficiencies that is going on has been left without any action being taken. And to assume that is why industry is paying so much. Production. I'll tell you, Coca-Cola, the malt that we do in this country. Your Guinness Oklahoma, your Guinness for Nigeria, your Guinness for other South Africa, your Ireland, more. Guinness production in Ghana alone is around 12 cedis per can. When you import from Nigeria, all the way, the miles are and now nautical miles are alpha ships in Diaba, and now the better friends and plane crap by cargo. It will cost you a lot of money. Now, what the bedroom cromana say your calculations? Now, what you and who excise duty says, when you do that, you are still about 30% cheaper than what is being produced here.
I don't know what is the cost.
Ask.
Because they say yeah can and no ama ye credible man no. Nyamene ni penim ebi bebre akofom. A prices na go down. But yeah de na wa hanu mom no. And no prices e kosoro ensuo. Ensuo na ye ton 3 series say 4 series 50 pesos. And no crowd ba ku bi ametoy or 5 series no. Be say me to me no. Me to me man 10 series one man say so 5 series.
2003.
I didn't say
2003.
Yeah.
75 cl of water. Na ye 98 pesos. 2003. 98 pesos. Oko supermarket in the morning. Intina nkrofo a omo eso aton ekwan ho no. They prefer going to the shops to buy, to sell, to make the money. Into omo beton a omo ton 1 cedi 50 pesos at that time. 2024. Then we saw it escalating. Now, 4 cedis per that same size. Just imagine the quantum. It's inflation in form.
Yeah.
But
how you reach a single digit?
Is it reflecting in the people's pocket? Yeah, you see them stabilize. Inflation up and down. But problem no, your friend of fundamental issues that we need to look at. That reared its head in the year 2019 up to 2024 are still persisting. As a Abanwe and Yis Hanyaman and Free Horn more. No matter what they do, we'll still be where we are. The high cost of taxes are for at a time or impose on the Ghanaians. The benchmark value, I don't know by what your friend is saying, premise or no, Modiginas or Modias are increment. Because that is not the issue that will address the local industries and our local friends and manufacturers. No, and yet no cry. And yet the taxes do something about it. Now, if you know, our benchmark value, no, I work as a near my credit ban and newborn was through. Intian na a born cost through. Send a beya into mean cram farmer. But you see, when somebody develops a taste for something, no matter how you increase the cost, they will go for it. If you say, oh, yes, I no to but they will buy. And when you should be to say, alcohol, I credit by.
Yeah.
Label ni Chivas Regal, JMB whiskies ni Irish cream ni sanya money na no. We increase the import duties to about 40%. Thinking say by doing so no, it will come down in consumption. But rather, if you check the imports statistics now, it has gone up.
So of course, internet is no need to be fine.
Yes, can to know the thing say it's okay to make the money. The other issue is that what people are taking is creating a problem for them. Omo no monsano dodo, omo di sugar no dodo. Intino, ye too ma bema omatiso. And ye no solution. The solution is you put in place a mechanism and a policy, sir. A bema me consumption go down, or I have to be very choosy in the things that I eat by increasing the education. Why you shouldn't consume too much sugar, but you don't do the education. But you increase the cost, and yes, still the consumption is going up. What can you say? And no increase diabetes. Increase diabetes. And then in a yama diabetes na microphone so it means that you have to introduce measures, educate the people for them to understand why they shouldn't consume. But you don't do the education in a vacuum and then increase the cost. when the problem still persists. That is not a solution. We must find a solution to the problem, but not rather creating a vacuum that government will make money. And that money that you make, you did that on the friends at the background say, me ye send a beya, sanema we won't be janti sesicano, and kamejia, and kamede quacotuo. Udina sawe ya na oba, me the best ya. Now, what you know, they a consumption. Consumption, the problem is still persisting. We need to change the way we do our things. Say industrial sector no, and I beka say omunye ne mebia, ebema omunye mano, ebo na ba from to say na demand all this.
Yeah.
I say government to meet nasi. Na yehwe sa ne mano. Make say maka several times. Let us benchmark the friends saying the facilities that we give to the industrial sector. Even if some taxes so it be at 10%, 15%. Within that enclave, the cost of production, a better form. Now it may more export. But Matisuno, we expect certain things to be done. May block it, your friend is saying, importing an airban because you are doing ABCD. And by so doing, after who benchmark now the Bebani say, I'm giving you all this money, and I expect you to say, you expand your businesses so that you can employ more people. Then we can do that, friends, and production as we want it. It is a production cost. It's because you are benchmarking whatever incentives are what they might. Into what they might now if you watch you might say a bit to me. Unfortunately, what will happen is at the end of the day, you will make the money that you want to make as a government, and then the businesses will also go down. Into inflation, to me, we have introduced certain friends and levies at the port. I say it to me money free honor. Now if the kind of taxes now consumption tax and I say retail tax apart from 1%.
Yeah.
COVID tax a year free.
Free.
Into Aina Wenya 2.9%. And then I think there's other thing Minister Nika. And so no 1.9. Into more about 20%. And friends VAT in Swift until now Kamboma is almost about 3%. But let us go to the production area and then see what the problem is. Address that problem so that reduction now it will further reduce the impact. The high cost of
production.
My friends say product sale our koto promos say about 20%. Reduction now we can get the products coming down. Then Kobani say two variables are it me use as calculation for increasing the cost of goods and services. Those things still remain. Now if you will say production here make import is possible. Say better form because the city that we use to import, the value has been stronger. The stronger the value, the lesser money you need to import and then to clear your goods. Until that reflection will be there. But benchmark value, any other values are introduced to our port. We have presidential FNC tax and a special tax I am 2%. So tax buy no say with time it won't be here free because they need money to do certain things. It's still there for over 8 years or 17 years. They introduced it at 2% because 2015 that led to the shutdown of friends industrial strike. From 2015 to now, we have it in our statutory books and we need to take it off. There will be a friend saying network charges.
Network charges, no.
Network charges. It doesn't make any.
Say network charges in the crowd. Because nipa no so on to your tax. Oh, to ya, we say we send to ya network na me de charge one same tu ahoka. It doesn't make sense.
But network no Theo. You can't say network charges.
No dey.
You are filing for your papers and other things through the electronic system. I sit in my office to do that.
Yeah. And no be boka na wa ye.
My yeah.
You
na
use data.
You na say yi your friend is saying sir report no to work on it. O say my son me computer the yenti na say wo tua. But you are forgetting say you are charging me based on your friend saying the duties that you have introduced. Now if you will your calculations so every component be all the VAT count. One invoice no bet your VAT bear 3 times. Because you in charge over you charge first one here the network number near the VAT account. Bet you we are the next one swabber. And also VAT no the back account. We are assign a use benchmark value. The benchmark value no and then they say nyama wa kraba na ban se min jintum because of the price no. Into no I'll recalculate it. Into not on $1 now, not the amount $2. No assign the friends and VAT ni na any your friends and nyama na akeka ho. Into no for me it was a big your friends and relief when the finance minister acknowledged said in fact the taxes that we pay are cascading taxes because but could be able to be it have its
Cascading effects, yeah.
You know, you better na ya home bibi and only 20% no announce. I expect a senka a bit me I call for more, but that is what they can give. But given that, no, you who say and no bar 1st of January when the implementation comes, we will say nyama no bono ebe call from further by that 3%.
Okay.
But there's something that if we are able to do, here's our benchmark value. Yenhwe ni yentisu. Yeti benchmark value no so automatically the goods that you find in the market, whatever percentage are ban better so far. That percentage will reflect in the retail wing, and you will see it reflecting in the cost of the goods that we buy. Internet here pass a bit me ahwe but if we say it's because of industry internet yes idea now. I beg to differ. Industry, no, we need to look at the cost of energy. And no, and yet your friends importation. And crowd lighting free baby and farm. And it's near possible to say, Becca say, into high taxes in production. We need to make money. But when you bring down those your friends saying charges now, then you tell the industry, you sit with them. I'm giving you this in return of this. See here can 24-hour economy. Asemi. That 24-hour economy. It's not because existing companies do not do 24-hour. It be run a shift. I could say.
Yeah.
They were there, but how many facilities? Yes, are there. And as you see, announcement now is targeted towards agro processing. Until that is the mantra of that 24-hour economy. It is agro processing. How do we do and what do we do to achieve that? Are we going to produce at a high cost as we have it done now? You see, when you produce at certain hours, you have more electricity, no? You better
subsidized. A buying a best so was
But the question you ask yourself is, if that is the way we're going to go, if you are not careful, people will look at the way they produce and the time that they have to produce. Production in Bibri, say during the night when people go to sleep, that is where you get the power, energy, to drive
machines.
And say a year juman temper. Until that is the time that they work very well. It is a certain time that to me, and some reliever. Then I have to wait. Now meet me a certain time. We should relook at it. Say, my proper incentive that will run across the whole hours, 24 hours, so that people can then know, say, even no matter what time I'm producing, I can still make that your friend saying or get that reliever. And Kobani say 1D 1F. About some way Jumano. Yeah, the soundboard about 1D 1F.
Yes, only your home production be a cost.
At the end of the day, there's a problem. So, into what share ni see here before. In Crawford Juma no order that. Yeah, the 1D1 F have a bomb. Yeah, discount message because you agree to that. If you don't agree, then the problem that you have to go through, a big issue. You know, there are so many things that we need to look at, and then address it the way we're supposed to. Because when you talk about agro processing now, a hint you agriculture, a friend saying output. Now, Ubeshe say, how do we increase our agri sector? They are putting it in place so many friends interventions. We expect it to yield results in the coming year. But the problem is, are we doing targeted farming? I said, Nema, it me export. And no Nema, a binimu, a shada, a yahutuma. Pombe diasa Nema. Now, fear no, ya penko for most best are processing. Most of these importers, Aboso come from a friend is saying,
spare parts,
small imports.
Yeah.
And now consolidated imports. Most of them are willing to go into that production, put back their business into this. Miankasa, Minkrofwe, those within the manufacturing sector, some of them are putting up new ventures. It will drive their business forward and also increase the number of Nema you produce. Now, yet me, I export. But who produce? Your cost is high. Internet say we have to sell within the space within Ghana. Oh, you export now, you cannot break even because it's very high. Intino, nyankofo to me at all. Oh, come on, Sunny Ben, Inti, say, you targeted farming. Now, it to me feed the industrial sector.
Industrial sector, no.
Because when we do that, now say you will say
that's just a targeted farming. No, I say you to me who no may say you ebe supply industrial sector. No, I dare say one more year.
What should be to say a cocoon kitten?
Yeah.
A laudable venture, but it has its own weaknesses. And they say the cost of feed. How many people can afford that?
Afford. Send on a Kelly poultry industry. The cost of feeding and a Kelly poultry industry. Yeah.
The cost of feeding. Ayewe. Sisiano, ya introduces our way. But in Kebeya, we should rather develop the framework. In Krofwa, I say a more, your friend is saying, in Kuko, Diana, or me, or more your friends and
one billion Kuko.
You prepare places, no. Amount in Tinka this year. A brewer, SNK, Diana, it's a cost 10 times. Harvest, no. I say 10 times what we have been harvesting. And they say, now the millers, and now your friends and feed friends and producers, they can access cheaper maize to produce the friends
feeding.
Now, you share import of other input concerning your friends and veterinary friends and drugs on the use. Ama sa feeding this and also and brown for manasa zero rated duty. Internet kobani sape. The only thing that you need is the energy. Then you look at the energy side. Say Debbie, energy number you is too much. Intino you bet me at susi amount. Inti munye ni say. Inti by the time you bet you cocoa microphone. Even when I'm sitting in my home and you give me 100 bears, I can walk into a veterinary shop and anyway friends saying designated warehouse to buy the feed to feed my chicks. And then the output will be seen in the next 3 months after starting that project. But one thing here, na say you didn't go on the microphone. Na say on to me and fancy can go to feed. Then what have we done? So,
but I'm finding so arrangements. I won't be you said they are feeding be accessible to the farmers at the cheaper rates. But I said they are all kind of
if the cost of production is high and the input is not there, are we still going to import maize? No. We should produce it locally. Recently, me say your friends saying buffer stock
Mm.
and to whatever we have in the market.
Because food glass, say you can say you need to be Google. What the chima no me idea.
Oh, poultry feed. Yeah, we grow idea
Mm.
to let them grow that corn, the yellow corn or yellow maize for the poultry industry, and then the white maize that we are used to. That is because yellow maize, high protein maize.
Yeah.
And no is good for the poultry industry. You bet me 80. But the white maize na we should look at it. Say, no for consumption, and this one will go to the feeding, to feed poultry. Industry. Then we have a targeted, implementation of also introducing the cold storage system. So, in our project if they don't find buyers, because it's geared towards having a cheaper poultry system in the country. Until at the end of the day, now we know best in area. When cocono, I bedroom slaughtering stage within 3 months. As all slaughter and buano. Now we need buyers. You only slaughter them and put them in the cold storage, and then you start the next production. San your cold room hono. And no need to be feedy your restaurants. You be feedy anybody who wants to buy. You go to the supermarkets, you buy them from there. So then the import, we look at the import. How much production do we have? The capacity that we have now is around 200,000 metric tons.
Yeah.
You cut the import by 200,000 tons straight. We get in immediately. We're going to say what is coming in as an import will reduce drastically. Then they will feed on this one. In the next season, if we are able to reach that target of maybe 500 or 600,000 metric tons. Now, import na and so you so a bedroom baby, the chicken will not come as an import again. We'll also do an export. So I don't know. Now, if you share, I don't near mana yen to me and yeno. Until we won't confirm cocoti and famba, and confirm coconut and famba, and confirm gizzard and baby. So I don't know. Nyama de bebano, ebiana beef. Na beef no so crap no. There's a target to grow the beef area. Do you understand? Let's just say, say all these sectors, we have a deliberate attempt. Say within 1 year, 2 years, we are going to grow this area, and we must see it in the data that will come. When the data comes and we have seen an improvement, nobody will tell you that system is a good system, so we should go by it. But important. Baby, since 2020, COVID number, and ministry Nika said, baby, there be 2019. No muka say you be banning rice import.
Rice imports, yeah.
And I'm sure.
And before the COVID,
a share minister. It was a big worry to us. Say, you be
ban say rice importation.
Yes, I pay. What do you come in because do we have the capacity?
Say you better produce. As I say, I ban any swadi hunu so once the president has okay, you're
going. Do we have that capacity? You need that capacity. You don't come with that ad hoc measure. Say, I will ban import of rice because we need to increase our production. So why don't you do the production first, and then you cut down the import? But you want to rather cut the import and then force the people to produce more. When the rice production will be ready in 6 months, we should be hungry for the next 6 months. Now, rice production, in Crawford areas, maybe in Ribe Bromoka say, Yento or Momon.
Many women didn't come. I
didn't know Yento.
More food and beverages.
You cannot be a farmer and the market at the same time. Into Untuminia marketer. Would ye Diamono, Nania, a Nejuma say, Bear Miller,
Obertono, Anado Bemelene,
Maninja Nejuma, Nania, Onosobeka Kofa. Agwakotono marketing na amawono monoso enye na onye nejuma nti yaka che minister and say look, this is the way we can do it. Let us see the capacity, the stock that we have in the system. And then we equate it to the import of rice that we have. So if you are importing 200,000 metric tons, and the local one is 10,000 metric tons, reduce the import by 10,000. So, but you don't allow 2,000 over 200,000 metric tons to come in when the local one is there. It will be our importer for rice. The only thing that they have to show is a proof of local purchase. No ya Milan, why mono aggregators now your now the rice is available for the commodity exchange to sell. As they are selling, we want competitive pricing. So you go for the local rice. I'm bringing 100,000 bags of rice from India or from Taiwan or Singapore or Malaysia. So if you are bringing 100,000, there's availability of local rice.
Yeah.
So go and buy 10,000 of that local rice and show me a proof. Say what?
Answer you be allowed.
Would there know what is
permitted?
by 10,000? Until now, you can bring that gap now. The next time we go up by 200,000 metric tons, we reduce the import by 200,000 metric tons, all by proof. Say, me am a importer. Now I'm buying the local one to sell alongside the imported one. So they will do that business. Until by the time, you bet me do capacity now, or be able to me at home. So that time, or no, importer, millions of dollars, not the crime money they ban, will remain in the bank and they will transfer it to the farmer. You see? And there was so much wisdom in this. We did that within 3 months. There was no rice to buy in the market, local rice to buy. And imported rice there was also scarcity. Then the ministry came in when the COVID came. They said, tell your people.
So this happened in 2019.
2019. COVID nearby and we said, tell your people anywhere they will get the rice, they should bring it. Because now the whole world will be upon it. Into Amona and Nam high season, other countries were ready to buy. So are there no. So you make that connection to get the rice to come in. Into Amona bar and Siciano. Yaman who quine and Amono
Bigum.
No, or the Aba, Obiako, no, the Abobiako, the Aba. But what happened to the policy that we put in place? Because
the earlier policy you implemented.
Oh, must have an
Anjuma.
One casa.
What's that idea way similar to the sea or poultry industry? And also Sabrina na NDC McKenzie one rolling the NDC two.
Then
Professor Mel Sabrina Dr. Hannah Bisiu deputy agriculture minister. It's an educated local poultry product 40%. Acquire 40-60.
Okay.
And then also
we saw the production.
Yeah,
but the cost of feed collapsed most of it.
A collapse in
We share a bit to say, Mama, brother Ibrahim. The portrait here, he could do over 500,000 bears in 3 weeks, 3 months. The other people, the Aku farms, other friends and farmers are within the poultry sector. They expanded their facility because the demand was going up. All of a sudden, they have to stop because somebody somewhere is ensuring it won't work. It won't work, and the poultry farmers, or one can say, the cost of feed is becoming so expensive they cannot buy. So what must we do? Even if we have to import it within the West African zone, which is cheaper, let us bring it to produce it for the farmers at a subsidized way.
Yeah.
Intino, a mona semino,
na one kasa so more important more near the bay. More than a amount to your friends Ghana rice. I didn't they say the policy better to myself.
Exactly the point. The policy when it's there.
And they're very restrictive.
It will restrict you, it will hold you, it will bind you.
Okay.
To do what is right. But if you allow me, I'll just go when I see any business person selling their rice at a cheaper price. I'll buy it and bring it in because a bar, there's no much, your friend is saying, restrictions. So I don't know. But if I know, say, if my rice get to Tema and I don't have permit to bring that rice, and I have no proof to show say my local rice, nipa non farm that. Because when the rice get there, then the rice has to be confiscated for school feeding projects. When you are bringing the rice, you follow through, get your permits, buy your local rice, and then, because you see, we want the marketers to have the love to market the local rice, so that they can then say, now we have the capacity to export. By doing so, we need to empower them. You don't take their businesses from them. Then you open the market for bigger competition. Nobody will go into it. The local farmer is the one who is going to suffer. What was the other antidote? The second one was buy the rice as you buy cocoa in the market. Because cocoa, you can't find it in the market. Cocoa. So you buy the paddy rice, store them in silos.
You say paddy rice and it's also store a check.
Now, we control our silos more. We are able to regulate it through moisture control. And mono, not someone no. When to me and Yen is Anna, when I have black, a bisu crap on a best cry. Now, a walk too much. You need another technology to process that rice. Nti eno na ye parboard rice na yen Ghana for yempe. Nti Nigeria for no they come and buy the parboard rice. Nti okon off. Na so mo ye omomo no mo ka say omomo no mo nya tofo a aggregator ne beko price or the be man no ntumi nto. Nti or the emo no begu o na watwen your friend is saying watwen Nigeria for no do mo trucks na ba ababeto no motor no, because when they go back to Nigeria and normally in these areas now, they have the technology to use it, even if there is not a big mill. No may use now more the way I want to move processes. No more eddie. The culture say Nigeria is self-sufficient in rice. It's never true.
Sir.
It's never true. They come to Accra, to Tamale. And they buy and send it through the friends and trucks.
But I don't know, difference in the saying. Say, okay, but some make out say Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. And Doko dear, any union and any titri woman crowded by your menu. One General Secretary, your friend is Samuel Agri. On your need in common, ye be brunya. They say no me saying and not chile monosedia and no me. What's it Nigeria for no babeto? Is it because a yen intimento? Because
price na farm and the member aggregator no. Untimento.
Okay.
So, but we a farmer, you need a guaranteed price for your produce. Inti, I must say, since we can store rice for a very long time, they don't have the technology. Inti, a mono year, they should send it to the centers. A buying center or no I establish, so that they buy the rice and store them. So it is per se self-sufficient. A whole year rice production shouldn't be released to the market. It should go into the barns to keep it. Into the next year production numbers starting, we start bringing our stored rice out, because we need to make way for the new production and also a big we should have a targeted capacity of rice that we need to store within a time, because we merely a more 100,000 metric tons. You are likely to get around 40,000 or 50,000, 60,000 metric tons. So better preoccupy. So until capacity now the farmers must grow. Irrigation system must be in place. Let them grow the rice that we need. Then government will buy them. And as people who can invest in the silos, give them the free will to do that. Oh, give them rather an incentive. I bet me, I'm going to make a so I say, oh, I have no medimsika shewa, menya samfaso. Until they do that, no much me I send a beya over time. In the next 2 years, another 3 years, na ye pese, ye mona ye credibano, ye better so by 40%. and now 60%. We can do that in the next.
Gani yenim say you was sufficient quantities so high bit me. Yeah.
Na ye ni sa no. And I say and say ye jinko for ejuma free o months. No ye farmer no. Let them increase their acreage and produce more rice. Na nia e na ejuma say obeton no. Ono nkoto no nton. So what there no. That is the only way. But say me a farmer. Na say me kofa me say me produce. Na mia so mesan market rice no. Na ma ye ne sensan ya. Mesan ko yebio. Me nye bio. Me boka so amenye the next week. Inti no, we should let the people grow the rice. Let them grow. Because you share your friends saying Minister of Agriculture, Seed Development Agency on Warner. The species of rice that we have, so many of them. But the ones that today is comparable to what we import is the jasmine rice. Now, we share your jasmine rice now. It's the same as what we import. But the technology to keep it the way it's supposed to be, you know. Unkoto emona unkonya na achina na tinsu.
Na tinsu.
So one there no.
And just say yes akra. And just all the fridge mo.
Yeah. But yeah, we kwan bit me afa so. Nti na money bi wa ka je nkofo mo in there there. Say no mo ye no. We can do the same. Give the people the necessary incentive, let them do what they have to do. We can do it, and we need to do that. And you know, it's not about banning. Say a poultry now. Let us look at what is affecting the poultry sector. Now, in develop no. Intina, His Excellency the President can say, "Akoko nkiti project me the beba." Measure say, "Ebema improve," but enye enokeke is the feed. That is the problem. Inti the cost of feed. Say subsidization we should do it at the background. Say the cost of production, the input, the energy that they used in producing that thing will go down. Cut down drastically because we cannot produce in this country and compare ourselves to a market like in Nigeria. We can produce quality products. Ghana, what we produce here is a Heineken beer.
Yeah.
Now cotton Nigeria there.
Which is a difference. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Malt no cry.
Your products malt.
Big
Yeah.
Big difference. Technology no. Is the same across the world. But we share coca, you did from Morocco.
Eba. Now share the normal. Difference no.
So huge. Because here they no and highly carbonated. Other ones never know.
A carbonated, yeah.
Now taste no crap is quite different. You know, we must protect what we have. We say industrial sector no, the cost echo for man. I'm telling you, if we produce and the price is 7 cedis, as they bring from Nigeria, do you think the people will risk traveling all the way to Nigeria to go and bring it? No, they will go to the factories and buy them and sell at a cheaper. Your friend is saying, you go market in there, one kind of malt, and then 13, 15 cities. For what reason? When I go to Nigeria and bring it, it will cost me 7 cities. And then I come and sell it at the same price as the Ghana price. Am I not making the profit that I'm supposed to?
Utilities in the main drivers or maybe facilities from the banks.
The cost of borrowing is a big problem. And then, interest, no, about form.
They say
around 18.
18, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it 18? Yeah, it's around 18. And it will come down further. And they say, if inflation is coming down, your cost of borrowing should also come down. Basic point in that other jurisdiction, they do that with inflation. We try the U.S. economy now. When inflation goes up, they carefully calculate the interest rates. They move it from 2%, now called 2.5, and now 2.2, another way. But they know, Vietnam, who will borrow at that price and put it into manufacturing and make profit? You start with high cost of borrowing. If you are borrowing for industrial sector, and not for farming 0 rate. For industrial sector, maybe 2%. So that you can borrow and establish the facility that you want. Most of them, they go outside, get the money that they want, and bring it here and come in and produce. And then at the end of the day, high taxes will kill them. And some of them, they will not even see the light of day. And they fold up and go. You know, we have every opportunity to develop this country just as we campaign. If it comes to fruition now, I want a problem no one. Because putting what you have said into reality becomes a challenge. Because I'll let electricity cost come down and then when you come.
Okay, yeah, should be to say issue. I did say important issue about
Insuo, Ghana, a global village. There are people who travel and they carry along their own water. Embassies in the even though one better local water. Almost sign eto. We share hotels na so call events are elmoya na. Bon say a binum a top premium brand of water because of the cost that goes into processing and then getting the water into the as a international standard.
Yeah.
When falls under international standard. But sometimes they look at the premium. It's the packaging and the way they do that filtration. In Nsuo America's a way of sparkling water sourced from the mountains. Here in India, we don't source the water from the mountains. Either we do it underground, or we use the Ghana sewage water. So on there to do it. What you do on what you add, or the technology that you add in filtering the water, is what will make it premium. So, science can easily be exported. Any problem? COVID time, Mr. COVID time. Haiti, any problem? Some time back, earthquake by we donated. So then, company we donated huge sums of money and number of water that Ghana sent water to Haiti. In Kansoni Yankabeko, but the quality of the water that we do at that time, not beverage friends saying it's bottles and also. But we bought water and they shipped it to Haiti. So, and know your export. So, as we are importing, we cannot restrict, say, my and fancy but let it come. But those who can afford, let them buy. Because the people who use that water, instead of me carrying it in my luggage, with the air flight will not take it. It means I have to ship that one in advance. Let it to get to Accra. And then how many bottles am I going to drink? So then before I leave Ghana, but if the availability is there, they will buy. A cycle. Just as we have opened up our market without any controls, there are other places too that have done that. But Siciano, people are getting feared. They're becoming more afraid in consuming the water that we produce in this country, especially in certain areas. In free water, and that's underground. That's if eastern and western part of the country, nobody would want to buy. So I know. Say galamsey. SN. Now, sa galamsey issue no. Yanhwe na yensi ano a. Seme beba no. Nkofo na yeye no. And say do mo chigidi. You call all of them, give them an amnesty. I give you 2 months. Stop this. 2 months. Remember, soldier for now. Anytime they come and they see, they shoot to kill. After 2 months, are they aware? No? Let them understand the consequences. China, Ghana. Now, some consequences, no, we cannot tolerate it anymore. Intino, Munjai. No, bien kutupito, bien nyebibia wonsu. So, kwa alluvial mine in the side way. In Kofaya ma umokwan. Ghana for the nka yakase ye galam say ya ubekono it will take you years and so bet me too 10 feet now when you go down but we brought in the Chinese and they brought in the excavators and put the excavators in our water bodies and within 1 minute they can dig about 1,000 feet. So why should we tolerate these things as we sit? Intino, a year some pa.
Okay.
Apart from that, we share Nema Muyusu for your friend is saying processing, the heavy metals that they use, cyanide, this animal, mercury. All of them. Or even your friend is saying, far away from the water. In Suno, in Sotoa, it wash all into the stream. Sanyamana will say, my bohom by now. Now, big mining companies, technology we use now. Bibrina use little mercury, and they have a way of quarantining in Suno or Moyusuno over time. In Suno Nankasa, the Nankasa.
But some mercury, we might not be demonstrated, chairman. Okay, I say, some perception I can and yanocre. It's saying something because mercury no intimate and French. What's a mercury do so much? But I'm saying we have to get some scientific proof. And
a toma, because mercury would go and I knew. So I didn't mercury and Annie. Send out the big one. That is how it is. Oh, it's one of the soluble products. And no, Bibijano, Avanijina. It floats. So I don't know now. It floats, you know what it means in this. Woka say and sense, and you make repair and no use. They add
other chemicals.
Mercury no the process it. It is a mercury no go na say enkoma. What the two way mu. Now you mercury from crown you can't drink the water. And until we share in suya mikuta ya. Ya way our hone nyina no. Ya indicate the allowable percentages of what you can consume. Because a beer we are ubenya free the natural source.
Okay.
Intino you will allow our way it me a consumer, but not the way they are doing it.
All right.
The next 5 years, if we are not careful, we'll still have to import water the way we do.
Mamajo way quickly now fememra my other panel members Amantana waha Amantana woman wa bemo and opposition for so William Sanwo almost in a opposition. Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, almost business people. And you know, say budget buy no obono tofa e ko send the mamu food and beverages.
So far so good.
So
far so good. And it's say percentage I represent taxes no be ye free hono. Ye be free so there, but in yanka be sinsa.
Okay.
Sisi ano yes, is a corporate tax society. A ho, and then the bear found. Import side. Sorry. Your friends port ho. The values.
Yeah.
What they ma money na engineer baby na. Na ye benchmark value no. A free ho. Recently we have something we call environmental tax, and I say
or
EPA for environmental tax. So, when you will be a friend, so EPR, a year recycling in some way can contain BI. And no, say, Okra Nemaba. Na, say, plastic, a paper, your friend is saying, bottle. Oh, xylophone is an money. Which you are sending a bay on bit. This has can I recycling. Oh, you sue ya, Sanyaman baby, a bear, Kusuno, and on life cycle the best. Sasicano, and on the basis here. So I don't know. Inti, so Moka say, yeah, no. Now, other a friend saying taxes, no, and so bad. That's a workers may you benchmark because when you are importing, it's assumed say law no it's just only importer and exporter and manufacturer no and can because every manufacturer in this country pay an EPR content of cash to government because some offer recycling very serious. Inti omo de bibia be end up in the life cycle baby no they have a way of recycling them. Says you can manufacture in it yao. Inti says anyamano a free cyclonum abakrom ha nka wo importer no ese woni negotiate na odisa nia sika no obeti sai sika ne free and they can do it until you go and negotiate for a lower price. So lower price never unfortunately in this country will tell you say price no and you're correct. Then they will add up manufacturing price and so the amount $5, no, not $10. The vessel calculating $10 and say duty amount. Forgetting say you've gone to bargain for a price, and then the volumes that you bring in, you deserve the price that you are bringing in. But it doesn't work in this country. It is hard in Juma. We should look at the benchmark value.
Okay.
And then allow people to introduce the price list. Until no be a cranium the price on is different from
yeah.
Because with the price essence the way on we and no. A price now manaba form. But when you allow fairness, say because benchmark value anyhow MOP Namano bono, a bejina bibi. Until me cover the banner say, me make 500 containers aba, near the amount $1. Walk of one container the banner the amount $5 is your invoice that will prove. But unfortunately, the invoice doesn't work because we catch an aqua or the buyer no need any $5. I don't know the one. Are you forgotten say no volumes not the banner? And yes, until then they have to use the $1 to calculate. That is where the benchmark value it creates a big problem. Your trade system. Until year no free war, I'm telling you, Ghana will move forward. Now, share industrial sector. Until or no budget no year no. So no announce any now. We'll still engage them in these areas for them to at least look at other bottlenecks or horn. And we know over time, policy the policy directive will take off those things. But so far so good. Ojitum say tax system cascading taxes into no better now rationalizing good. In our share the friends saying or introduce here recently a friend saying modernization of modification of tax scheme
tax scheme now tax reforms
now more people will pay taxes and who has will be to 20%. So when I come now say media at the end of the day me turn over 5,000. So 5 cities in the media crowd. The system.
But what's the reforms? Or maybe a threshold, for instance. Yeah, or more
threshold it will capture more people into the tax net. Into obi or no crowd name at the boss say media I don't fall within that threshold. One container crowd saying one container we to meet the bar 3 times in a year. The cost of that is more than 500,000 Ghana cedis. So if we leave it at 200,000 now, it will be disingenuous for the.
But I say somebody across 750,000.
You're raising the cost road. I just say it's okay. So would you fall within the 100,000? I go and pay the 100,000. What would you fall within the 700 plus? You go and pay. It's a good initiative.
Okay.
But then the implementation is what we need to look at, so that it wouldn't be say people will then migrate from the top to down, and then we will migrate the people down to the top. That is where we have to be very careful.
Okay. Medal Senate 100.9 Samala Gray, General Secretary the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Bashiru Amantana mona mo abemo we share the can comment we are bit me aka then now what deal with Boku conflict in so.
I think secretary I think we be any we so a lot of suggestions are
Chala be microphone here na
okay a lot of suggestions I think that say abai bia fa mpuntu bebre de beba bema ye Ghana for. I think Neamanti yeni ne say as to whether they will reduce the prices of their products or not.
Already so say it has been reduced by 7% there Anna
more
7% or more.
Which reflection now. Say yellow gallon
yeah.
The first night saying almost 800 cedis. And then when you go 370.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you.
Mona guy 2700 and I'm 400. It's reflected. But me media say you benchmark value in free there will be no need for you even to reduce some of the import duties.
Yeah.
Because benchmark value ni pen a problem.
Okay.
So I didn't know. And when
All
you
right.
do that reduction now, immediately the next day, you'll see the reflective cost price in the market.
Okay. All right. Mhm.
Nti McJerry,
Yeah.
my shutdown so na ma say bisa sa question. No. I think I heard him on a certain note or kase or more reduce prices, no, but I wanted him to be clear.
Mm.
All kind of na me bra no on teha. So I wanted them to hear say no price of items are reducing. What we also expect ne say aban beye bibia ka ho ama omotime reduce prices in the more. On several occasions I say enyoma bo enko from okrom ha, but I am happy that the secretary himself is here today to confirm that omo reduce enyoma prices. He's mentioned a lot of things and enyoma all kinds no adeba kwa ma nya frame no say if NDC government had not come to power, Anka business be brain now be collapse okrom ha. Nigeria, that is in America, sir. If you look at the enyoma NDC dia to akwaimu and the taxes are year free system no mu. Na MPP mreso na sa taxes in na wo, and they did not have any intention of taking away any taxes. No mo de do na e ka ho no. Anka e koso sa be do samre you realize that business in Bibena ebe fold it up. And I'm also saying that because of the IMF policy MPP for Ediba, no. I think one of the policies, one of the agreement omo penny so omo ne IMF quarter so omo penny so ma IMF, and they say every quarter they will increase utility prices, and that would have come to add up to the taxes MPP for no omo de kaka nyoma ho. So this alone confirms say anka e koso sa bedru sambre most companies would have been gone by now as we speak. We are happy that currently as we speak, our companies, most companies need that so exist and they are making progress in this government. You saw a lot of companies fold it up, move Ghana, Echo, the neighboring countries, Cote d'Ivoire and other areas. I think Nestle Ghana had also folded up in Omoko. Yes, I think
Nestle were how?
No. Exactly. They import most. Thank you. I'm happy you are here today. And yes, and same way. Even doing what you need, but a lot of their products now they import. Formerly, they used to sit here to produce a lot of the products, but because of the cost of production, they were hunty or more folded up and more. They realized that even importing the goods in Ukraine far cheaper than producing those items in this country. But then I don't know I think Obo Asembiso McJerry Major said it could be one of the reasons in here cost of production high. He spoke of issues of quality. Quality. He spoke of issues of quality, and if you look at the quality of products that you produce in Ghana, any near a modeba. One of the things he mentioned is carbonated drinks. The amount of carbon on Google foreign drinks in Edibano, if you compare that to near Ghana Hana, is far lesser. And that alone, it has to take prudent production before you can get that kind of quality drink. So more definitely will go into the cost of production. And that is where you realize that aside the electricity prices, water prices and those things, but you use quality materials, or let me say goods, to produce Sanyo Manenti. At the end of the day, you get to have the product going higher. Everywhere in the world, even China. When you go to China, you know that they produce high quality materials for themselves. And they quality, they export depending on the country. Once the thing is quality, definitely you will have a higher amount to pay for the quality item. Just like in Siono, you import bano. Sometimes I've seen them before in some glasses type PBC. Those ones, is far higher than Voltica Yotonoha. It's a matter of choice. Say, Obeto imported water and that's Obeto ne Ghana. So when they come like that, definitely the prices will definitely go high. So I think it's here for NTS here, the NTS sometimes the cost of production. I mean, in your cost, and in your produce, it's me cost near import because of one the quality and the quality of goods Ghana you produce. It's if you compare it to other things that you produce abontin you get to know that but one other thing I was saying is the government has implemented BBA when we are able to make it very well. Ebema taxes no subesa kofoma the expansion of the tax net. Once the government is able to expand the tax net to capture each and every person with your tax no, then definitely say with your 2 Ghana cedis some reno they have expanded it to catch Magere into your 1 Ghana cedi. So we all shared bit by bit. That way, one, the taxes will be reduced, just like we are able to expand the tax net. VAT at reduce and now they are saying that they will further expand the tax net or more expand it, so some of the taxes too will be taken off completely. And yeah, we did not just take corporate tax out just because we wanted to take it out. There's a certain projection a Binance Kasaye and say we'll re-get that money from maybe tax expansion. Inti na nke say COVID no importers nko ne tua omoyi me no Magere yen tua ne kakra omo betu so betu 2 Ghana cedis yen chine tua 1 peso so that it will come to accumulate and make that amount so that to reduce the import taxes. You know, import taxes to have been reduced at the port. I'm happy that when the fact is not stated, definitely you will state it. For
a friend is saying import. Minty BBS.
Yes, but
import tax ain't reducing.
Reflection is
but exchange rate enya reflect because benchmark
yes.
dollar. Technically it has not been reduced. So but exchange rate
yes. The technical figures it has not been reduced, but because of a certain denominational changes, when America say denominational reduction, who said that would your 20,000 to clear a crawler. Now it has come down
above form. Yeah, that is because of the exchange rate.
Exactly. So
dollar near the threshold or the benchmark.
Speaking to the layman's understanding, you can say that import duties has been reduced on that issue. But technically, let's don't say that import duty. Oh well, very well. But
because I see that as the fundamental issue.
Yeah.
The increase in import duties. That is the bane. Emma, the Niamano, that's echo. We intino. The city number for ma. Assume you said the city was 9 cities at that time. Oh yes, 100% benchmark value now. Enka Obiabeka say Niama bo akos. Nso city in Beijing now. So we need to touch base with what really brought about the changes.
The changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, the increase at 9 cities was high cost. It is a city number 11 cities are the main problem, which is the benchmark value and other introduction of levies. I said there.
Okay. So yeah. Yes, all of them are there, but then we all agree say the import. I mean the amount we use now the imported items. It has been reduced. That is what myself and you want to hear. Basically, that's what we want to hear. And Ghana, whether you like it or not, we are driven by taxes. Whether you like it or not, taxes. And the manage country we. Aside from taxes and borrowing and our natural resources are why they support it. But we are mostly driven, and I stand to be corrected on that. We are mostly driven by the taxes are free.
Imports.
Yes, those not only import. Let me say business people. Taxes. That is where we get our money. So, but I have an issue with taxes where it is redundant. When the taxes are redundant.
And no, redundancy in terms of.
Fun say it was causing a certain redundancy in the system. Say, now, if you look at the structure well, you understand that there were 2 deductions from one transaction.
No, 2 deductions. If you send 10 cities,
yes,
to 10 people, the last person will end up getting 5
Ghana cities. You understand? So there were multiple deductions, sir. From that particular, that created a redundant system. But I'm happy that amount has been I mean that e-levy system.
11 is a freehold.
A freehold. So basically, I think, and another thing he mentioned, 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy.
Yes, he mentioned the 24-hour.
Say Ghana Statistical Service figures,
yes,
data near the year, Juma. Youth unemployment in the cost.
Yeah, yes.
It tells you say 24-hour economy.
No, it has not started as we
operationalize
it. Good.
I agree with you.
Yes,
but when person a previous government 1D 1F because me I criticized heavily
I
to 1D 1F.
Yeah, I agree with
say
you.
1D 1F na more cano. And you must say the yes say you no.
I agree with you.
Yeah. It is the same way.
Yes.
24-hour economy. It's many keenly.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
And we have it at least. There is some amount of money. Pushy share. We just hope that, and we believe that, and it's not only targeting the agro processing sector. If you look at our manifesto and what you say, it is targeting a lot of sectors: the manufacturing sector, the pharmaceutical, construction, financial service, sanitation, management, hospitality industry, retail centers, transportation, health, security. These are the places that are targeted, but we cannot roll all of them at once. Senior, make us an MPP for now. Say some Ghanaians want us to roll it out just at once. No. Bit by bit, it will be rolled out. And I would say, sir, when we are able to make our products in such a way that we are able to export more, like Secretary Camp once no. Say yet me the inhuman to acquire mu ye and we start to export. Nobody will even tell the factory say do 24-hour economy. So the systems are supposed to be kept in place. Say it me the systems to acquire more, then it will end up even creating the 24-hour economy system number.
Yeah.
So he speak of I think I just want to add my voice to the Nkwonkejiketi
project.
You know, before we left power in 2016, now, poultry industry. There was a supplying farm, and a supply poultry industry before we left power. Because I remember very well that my dad, no do a group, into not a buying shed that to a broom to feed the poultry industry. So there was a system of Mukreti said that system should feed the poultry industry. And that was working very well. In which means I'll buy a bit me out wow. Say 8 acres. And they will give you the fertilizer, they will give aside from the labor on more fertilizer and help you on some how do you call
taking inventory.
Not the inventory so year bruno and those things now. You know the trucks now. After that, if you have gotten let's say 10 bags, the government can take like 6 bags and then the 4 is for you. At the end of the day, because government has spent more because aside from labor now plow fertilizer they gave you and all those things. So your own was just labor. So at the end of the day, you get something for your own self. So those systems is what must be put in place. So that the poultry industry, I'm sad to hear that me Papa Ibrahim Mahama, he had a poultry factory, right? Yes. That and you mentioned Daku farms. Good. I'm sad to hear that it's because of feed. And reduce the expansion and now more expanding. That is so sad that Ghana that we are supposed to invest more into agriculture because we all benefit from the agriculture proceed that we get in this country. Now we are getting to hear that a broad aquafarm because in the north, for instance, it was about 1,000 to 1,200 to 1,300 thereabout. But now when you go, it's about a 460, 480. Some of them are even 400 Ghana cedis in the north. So that means that I don't know, but I strongly believe that production in ABN are quite high. That is why we are getting to get more of that. So we should reinforce it, make agriculture a very better place for even the more of the youth to go in. Look, a youth going into agriculture, NF. Me, as I sit here, I'm trying to go into. goat farm. My chance here kakra. But then because of where I find myself, a bit difficult. But when we are able to go much into the agri sector and make sure that we get all those things to feed the poultry industry, not only the poultry, even umponchi we are bro, enjoy we are bro, nanchi we are bro. So it will end up, and even human beings eat bro, pigs and all those things they eat maize. So it will end up fueling the economy to make sure that we get jobs to do. Secondly, we get to feed ourselves. So I'm happy also that the government currently is making the agriculture sector very attractive for everyone to enter into it. We are hoping that it will be done very well and better, so that we can take advantage of now yetimia are developing the agriculture sector. Ama obia timia anya ohako. But the beverage sector now, mostly, I think I've made even that point on the quality of items they produce. That might be the reason why new money was. But what I will ask is that, can something be done? Can something be done about the prices aside from the benchmark you are talking about? If the benchmark is reduced, is there another thing that the government can be able to do aside from the benchmark now? Is there any other?
Under the World Trade System, you need to develop your own policies. You see, but the introduction of the policies should not impoverish your people. So that it will be fair trade. Those who do that import and those who are benefiting from it, it should be a fair trade for both sides. So until now, what they ban, we say, and then nebet me ayama timemfo. Sebema ya sitting my idea. Don't do it. You see, that is why we keep on fighting. Say that we know a illegal entity, because the countries that implement these benchmark values, when you look at the records and what they put the benchmark value on, it's simple. And you Indiana yedi, and ya idea me koto abehami.
Okay.
Because the idea nya obetumi ato na chese nipa no e wo sika pa. But idea ba ema ohiafo ho eto ho eye aduane. Na so mo aduane boy aduane. Then of course you are putting it out of reach.
Okay.
Mark, like I said,
because fortunately for William Sambo, on also the background, the baby of free banner.
Greek.
Not Greek. Or he's into your friend say manufacturing sector. Yes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, Juma, very big company. Also your production. Into
so
you're dealing with.
See now, I think one other thing, like I said, that the government has kept in place, or now put in place to make agriculture sector one of the sweetest place. You see, this farmer service center is there to aid people to make sure omitimia are into great farming. The government has come to realize agriculture, whether we like it or not, is the backbone of this Ghana we are in today. So there's all of them are under agri sector. The farmer service center, and you see the amount government in their share. What now we need is making sure and I think the government, the country moved to another stage. 2016, before we left power, let me go there again. Poultry importation was reduced because of Senania Presamama de Nyoma Tutu Kwaimo say yes, we're going to reduce the importations of frozen chicken into this country. And there was a policy or the two Akwaimo and Name Culture was say they deliberately shared Nkukon Kitten and the amount for they also deliberately got a source of feeding sa Nkukono into Nkuko the number of Nkuko another metrics of importation or more no more import to from Amononidiba Ghana, it's drastically reduced at a certain level.
Okay.
Until another government came, people government came, and they threw that aspect of the policy away, and then the importation in that is increasing air queening. So I think good policies by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will make sure say no more way in our back off.
Okay.
As we struggle hard to make sure that we expand the tax nest. I believe in the system that immediate revenue taxes will further go down if we are able to make the business sector an enabling place for everybody to enter, because the private sector is what also gives us more taxes.
Okay.
Sec, I want to sit here to tell you that send your normal courses is here, and all of us now trust the process when it comes to issues of financing in this country, or the finance minister, which means he's on the right path, and that is why items are reducing, dollar prices are reducing, fuel prices are reducing. That is an admittable fact.
Okay,
it's due to prudence. Or the actual acquirement. So we know that when things continue to go this way, and just like Secretary Abet Naha Najuya, I think that if it continues that way, we will get to work more and make sure.
Okay, thank you.
The Ghanaian people
have Willie?
Yeah.
Eze?
Me or the acheme.
Yeah, they are copase. Also, work with the na yen situate and I am focused on this. Yeah, baby, the Brunia said, "No, my commercial products are more yeah, baby, yeah, the baby Brunia be. We work production line. Oh, there be some say me to me, product.
And I will catch me at the behind scenes.
Willie, a command, yeah. So far, said the no where inflation indicators, no. So you're part of the management of a year or company, a very big company. It is because we're winning. My auntie.
Okay. And you made you bet ya a tier 4 on Facebook. Na met ya me former MP, Honorable Ahmed Atta MP, former MP of Okanko South. Na met ya me party leadership. Na met ya me wafa. Mi uncle Bakupe. Uncle Bachi Ajako. And you made it, baby, or be a offer. Yami on your case. Na set Obesha now you continue to shine the land of Lower Manya Krobo. So be able to say Krobo for Yensu Yaba and Yaba and Sudia. Now we are taking a leadership role in everything. Yami and your case. Magdari, me senior brother, what he did. Pesa me, Bisani, most of the time, idea. Na man for beside pa say a dress man sir 24 expiring date no mo empowered it drinks are
yeah no
obehwe no mo ankasa e wo stamps are omo disisi so who say ye nyina so ye nim say ba infant Ghanaian nkola die maximum 1 year and e di my be 6 months but we come market no adi ne ko expire no mo ankasa from stamp no more this so bad drinks bad food drinks in bia nyama that the funny baby and I believe say
that's dangerous
yes and no has president there me pese onchichim say na the kind of assurance wo ho my say SMS ya ye kwakodi die saa nyama no e be reduce because met media na African nation baby obehu say amanfo esi konwa pa
almost stamp
just okwa kra almost stamp enti president over high there me bonnet assurance
in fact we here adeba ko a asem kese ma yina yedi hu enya esan say o kota there na say won so ma sesa date a big issue sometimes no date insesa na any problem because ube to me akra niam aba na ube production bi na production no lifespan bia 6 months we dey fan say 1 year na 1 year no we produce no on say the lifespan anka sanka 12 months And so, sorry, 16 months. So why in 12? Before and some changes, you will need to fall on the regulator. Say, my product, my man, 12 months. And so we can go for 16 months. Or no better, or better test, or better in the way we say, ampa, you can go for the 16 months. Your man who coin now to me a year relabeling. I'm out on and no. But rarely do we see that. And I won't go for biswa. I didn't know ever be expire no more. If you are 1 month, I got 2 months. 2 months, no, I still wholesome. 3 months, I still wholesome. Or bonnie don't go. Okay. But it shouldn't go beyond that 3 months. And at time now, the bond don't go. Because of date. A be into got two products. That's a we date markings now. This year, obi anu yes stamp.
Okay.
So every date marking be a digital. On at least 99% of products are digital. Into kotona who say data stamp na that boss. It's a bit shady. Uhuni ye anase we ya alarm. So to me, it raises the friends and authorities issue. Because if you are some way enforcement now, we will say digital printing. Also.
We say,
dotted way na date na and yet ordinary stamp, dotted printing.
Okay, yeah, dotted.
Yeah. Who can who Tetra Paks. Almost everything. It is a date necessary becomes a big issue. Now, so we are manufacturers who are who saw what they in Kofogu Chrome now around this time or more monitor say, near one casa and a 1 man who can say, Yamba on Yama don't come here. Mean to me, but Tonema will free company 10 cities and Cobon don't go me 5 cities. It's never done. And you're possible.
No.
It is a economy, Bobby, we don't go me 5 cities, sir. I say intent them now intelligence. They are very activated. Now fear nobody say idea or more bonny don't go me work. And why never who coin. Or motor on the same, a ban the same, and this animal. It does say, or mark inferior product, new marketing, and a model sale product. And I also say, Monkasa and multi products, no so, our more promotion. Then, even that promotion will be
at a certain amount, not so low.
Will be supported by the regulator, FDA. You know, so promotion being a way out. The reasons for which you are doing that, and so to me, almost say, when me say, says, and man out on a count down, a good product, and expire, to meet on at that price. And no, and session. But I feel years, say, in Crawford, on the Cocoton Yama, I crochet them as a Sunday. Some time back now, a sipa, I don't know, a banisana, a EFD as a tree, and one more a quiet chisanko phone. I show almost several times. Until Siciano, me assure some more number no about phone. Still, no, can I be because especially Chinese for him to be control and market space, or a Finium area, Niama, our Moyano. Yes, if him tomato, Milo, and I say chocolate drinks, Nesania Mano, they produce it in the darkness and come and sell it as a retail product. In Tianuseno, who Obiniama Wayano, no Biaqua for the big market. Intino, sometimes a Yapa say a bit me share the quality, the security features. Oh, and check Yankasa, EBBA. Channel any one of the stations and I'm be decide man. The companies know a better own products. Now fear no yet me bet na radio so and TV so. I educate consumer no. Nema so a yeni.
No normal better no. Yeah.
So no ukoto udi nema ni we are the way obe dispose your friends saying empty parks no send a be ya obi into me coffee and sign use. Intini now ye be di hujuma.
Okay.
Intino ye be educated but bibi to say tax stamp. Our boss say ube kwa nanko for the ACC. In fact, stamp no untumi nya ni bibia so far minim sɛ nkurɔfoɔ ɛyɛ ɛtwa gu mu but the minim sɛ GRA wokra nneɛma no de ba na wo declare wo the friends saying excise duty a ɔmo de stamp no ɛbɛma wankasa wo betos na ade a bebree na yɛ ne sɛ wokɔfa nneɛma no ɛfiri factory na anaasɛ supply no hɔ a na ɔno de stamp no ama so wokɔ afateta so na ansa watɔn so nti wobɛhu no na ebi mu ɛyɛ ne saa but ideally no it should be done from the source nti before nneɛma no bɛfiri manufacturing sector no yɛayɛ stamps no dada local products a produce no kɔn nyina wohu saa deɛ no apart from nneɛma free across the board
but sound be microphone yeah now your phone too
free imported source no ɛno na ayɛ ɔmo ta yɛ saa no but na bɔ ɔmo kɔkɔ wo a wokra nneɛma biara de ba no nneɛma no sɛ ɛsɛ use tax stamp a yɛ ɛno ɛwɔ warehouse ansa wo de nneɛma na ma nkurɔfoɔ de
okay
menti stamp ne ma ɔmo sɛ kɔkɔbɔ so because GRA ɛwɔ ho kwan sɛ nneɛma nam from transit point omutumi ehwe sɛ nneɛma we stamp wɔ so a stamp ni so a no matter how sɛ ukuta stamp no on be confiscate nneɛma no assign I impose penalty on you nti no yɛn hwɛ sɛ bibi a yɛ gu yɛ warehouse no ebetumi de sa stamp na ma so sa retailers
okay now me say what's what question members no because to set up that digital coding no get bibi a anybody did that much nti obi opeso odi obi opeso pesika gu ni bottom no
digital coding no enu ye ndru ho ye gu so ye di hu nti design ye manual stamping
yeah manual stamping but I'm saying say if I'm talking about a product now
okay
say no digital machine coding but I'm saying say ohwe coding na enye bibia ni boy didin bia obi beka say ontimi set ya so peso to a ink no ni boy sheda ni boy di mo but ni obeto no ink a di be mo be 20,000 no ebetimi a print ni ma bebre a obenya ho faso so mesele say members so oni on beka sa public safety Magjerry
yes sir
me no ne kasa no kan bibi about 24-hour economy but you know say me I keep telling anytime I mean even when we were in power and I told the NDC for say 24-hour economy it is not practicable that never be what so this shame and sana be ejuma aye ejuma and as you said you know some of us where we are coming from no, we know exactly what it is say you can produce and then banks you know they are open say there if you have your product you have something that you are going to do and the bank is there to give you loan what must say company be any work say unji loan no Ghana but ujina you know say you have the market ready now you go into production and so almost 24-hour economy I've said say and nothing that nanado dankwa kufado can say nka import ni yemfa restrictions kakra to so say yemadempo yes we are importing about $2 billion rice this and I was telling you rice production rice production bebre I mean December saying you see them approaching you say oh the workers staff crabbegia they are ready to give it to them on credit but Ghana for because of mundi
Local rice.
so, yeah
local rice
yeah local rice you know they are ready to give it to you credit 3 months say farmer staff keke no mo de na omo divia 3 months no mo fincha kakra Ghanaians are not ready to buy. And so I said, say, Ghana, when you give him the opportunity now, or better perfume rice. So it must say, so, Nanado Dankwa Kufado, New York, Sanka, Yemfa, if you say, possible, Yemfa restrictions,
restrictions, bang. Restrictions.
Yemfa said, Magjerry, we import rice of 10 billion. Nice, Abia, okay, Yen reduce 5 billion. Nanka 5 billion, Nakan, Yemfama local. Producers.
Yeah, I'm just similar thing now. Some
Ghana for bedi. Esa perfume rice ni ho obedi. But when come market na perfume rice no ho dey forget it. And there any choice. Old man say any choice. But when say ye pesi enya Bruce do wa esi yenye how do I call it? Yenye ni na yenye ni just to make sure say the local economy no ebenye because say local nipa ya oba me o person o di mama for credit say Ghana for be dia kamenya so obenya
by microphone
Kaminu so obenya kakra because obesi sani nyina de akoma no so de ama credit old man say ananu so because amount for I ready so mbedi no anase options ni honity Ghana for ye be den ye bedi. We used to have MDB. I see me to foreign rice in mamo. Look at no mo pa and the musical number bottom. And we're talking. I see me me chrome. I know only chrome baby of no France no. I'm casting and yet so baby or be an no sort of. Old man say, and no na sort of. Oh yeah, then I'll be Tom. Oh, Sadash been there by any or sister baby. No. Oh, you so. I see, I'm a chrome. That's what it is. Over you so by force. That's the over me. Old man say, so that is where Renault
yeah.
And you come country. And what and your crowd be you so. The government is saying, me more opportunity. Old man say baby for baby bar. Anybody didn't into better in dance and any dust and I then. So I am saying, say,
but I want to know. On some conform with local production. This year, you have about 3 assembling plants. Oh, come here. Now, Okona Okakoto assembly car. It's over 200,000. I didn't na main car home use no. Na mean 100,000. Na mean use. But on also be catch say taxes that's what we do no. Any the friends saying utility component a woman. Or yeah no reducer any year. But say assembly car in Ghana it costs 250,000. Will you go and buy an imported car that will cost you 180,000? You will not. So are there no. Into no the what goes into it. I'm saying the air can only what goes into it. Into no yes our statement now. We should give certain meaning and understanding to it. Send a beya. It's your phone better say because and you'll be after say you better near market can near crab bibia. But it's also the car import even at the benchmark value of 100%. Still and for credible. Into which it is enka or more free honor. It will force the manufacturers to bring down the cost of whatever they are producing. So I
agree. But me, the American say, you say, Jania Yedi. And I'm more concerned about them now.
So your target is the food?
Yeah, food.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, say, Ghana, you are saying, you're buying, I mean, you're burning, and saying, you're best, you're baby, any baby, I bet that. Of course. So, man say, yeah, Canada, luxury. And luxury. Old man say, and he said, Danino, say, yet me restricted, and I said, yet me reduce the import, no. Say bia say rice near 10 billion. Ghana for local rice producers. Monji 5 billion. Rice no import near the 5 billion, but asan nya can look no ye 80.
For the year.
So man say and when a basana then the local entrepreneur no so obenya stand behind them ejina so. But where I will produce na Ghana for because we have options, you know. Ye mpesi ye bedi. Ye be then yakuye ni. So I'm saying say only your business sounds so man. Business any na say needs be pesca e dey akotua school fees when you be the abuano. Into the mass as much as friends say power local friends
manufacturing no.
Ebe boy nyina. And say I mean can same thing I'm market so ebe boy mo because I didn't know now say the trust is there now. And you have no the container call France and I call UK and I call Turkey. And I go baby akotaba but ninu bi wo ha producer obetimi ade amani bi so cash flow no ebe wo within the system just to make sure say economy no ebe den so basically no it's something that me I'm saying say 24-hour economy no ebe basua these are the things that
my company more than 24 hour
yes we do but I'm can say your company be say na give up MD no project to me say some American say the market is not there enti producer, why not better?
Okay.
Old man say, but when the market is there now, that is where
and one be compel you
to do it. Old man say,
sub production no. You see, it's geared towards export. Yes. But when you price yourself out of the market within the competitive region now, where do you sell your product to? So I there no. Intino, yeah, production now. Production no will be sent to the outside market. But then the cost should be lower so that we can compete with the outside market.
That's market. All. Okay.
So it's about a lot of planning and then government interventions. So it must say say na oka no na say uko insana giok ya produce no uko na uko to a friend say whiskey a omo produce bi na I mean uko a friend say foreign ones na omo dey ba no very cheap. Why would I say me ko to Castle Bridge ni boy din a whiskey na ye di for foreign den eba old man say so I am saying that time can say me ko na me nya foreign drink na whiskey na definitely no meto Castle Bridge meto Alumo meto Heb Africa but o mommy options ni dia manum ye me de and I know I have my taste old man say so I'm saying that some of the things no I say take drastic decisions just to make sure say we are protecting the local entrepreneur no, just to make sure say bibia ye no we are kasan we be consumer na o ya de na o ye fan say o nyan dokunu na o ma so mu ndia won no be di so to say so Magjerry how there I think say NDC government no almost sure ye pa
okay
no
all right.
make sure system management just to protect them.
Unfortunately, my time has shown.
Oh my God!
Someone know about calculation.
Okay, my member on youth in agriculture. I think say mention this about youth no dear. Look, and then national service. Yet me post here, obi o requested for 70 and I brought back 300. Old man say. Meanwhile, no, these people no say, "Hey, bia, you call Eastern region, Northern region, Ashanti region, village B. Na yetimi see single self-contained cry. Na esi nipa no onko tioni e money bia same 750 or 1,000 Ghana cedi buy the man as national service no. But I buy a man a single self-container. Sa nipa no ko be call into agri. So to say. So see ye pompa just don't go and dump the money but make efforts make sure say nipa no e be entice no to go because say oko na e bia bungalow na e wo no DSTV or na nema the person will be enticed to be there because of person here in Liverpool of person here in Chelsea old man say so though obe confirm no onim say next Saturday and Sunday yan confirm ni there me Chelsea ni there menya here free old man say menya data free we can do nema be a be entice youth no because sometimes Accra is choke e bin mu kra or quite buy juma kra the stress o come no but o village on obenya fresh kutomre obenya bibia na sika o ha sika you kra buy di be ma no kra o yi mu bi ube save the chunk of it than say nipa no be back ra ha be ka say oba be any service transport kra be ni sika e di man kra no intimi chani transport so I am saying say agree in there when the people are happy we did ya men adwemfin ye den e man team so abanye ye show youth no there if we want to better agree there yem fasikane nko ho ni make sure say you be provide you move with accommodation and I can tell you look most of the youth they want to go into it or manya baby pada single self-contained papa na bangaro na yeah Jerry or the youth will go into agriculture now than to say Accra obi okura baby I didn't to crowd you be affair no san ko hide down in sanema so you best okay, but that's
but as now I'm saying sorry.
It has to be backed by a certain culture, you know, and you know, your time. I don't know. We're not doing politics today.
Yes.
You see the minimum time, but my time, Anami was JSS. That's Kubia wafu.
So sir. Yeah, wafu. Yeah, bet school where farm beds, no. And you do ya one kruma. It will be a duameko. And no quite make sure the account was some cumulative assessment.
Me or forest. So the me tree.
There was that sense of what you must say you have to enter into, whether no matter your position, you have to enter into agric. You see, now, agric officer no crown only farm. No, only farm. Agric officer, or extension officer, whatever officer, he himself does not even have a farm.
Okay.
So that is why the return of the school farming system, I don't know right.
So I don't know where I can. Honorable Rikopoko.
Yes, that is why the practicality of it. That is why that's a return banner. I think it will help to foster what meaning paying
okay.
Because when we are able to start it from that lower basic level, even when you're a bank manager, we're a lawyer, at your backyard,
You have to get some farm, small farm.
Pepper, tomatoes, you can plug it from your own plantain, yes, from your own backyard. Okay. So that sense of culture must be kept. And when you come to power in 2050,
Madam Sim, higher than 100.9. And discussions so now very fruitful. Yeah, share ye bedi bronya. Well, we need to say na date near 18th. I can just and nana watch your pepper 24th. It's nana watch this time, you know. Let's just say ye nyina obia na kwanso gidi. Obia kwa kope baby akwa kote. Eda go di ni bronya. Eti ni ye share said ya eno amatie. Ye ni food and beverages. Association of Ghana or General Secretary by watch that no maybe any so and said ya it is so mine ye see the tabunu be the better be so crana and yes a be putu promo na ye yen kakra ye graduating kakra na just say e ko na ma watch church said ya no my friend no e some agree oba ha say and ye William Sango a member of the MPP communication team on so e ba ha just on so fortunately on so you be a. And when it comes to the production center, production sector now, Udima Kotenepa, because of the background, any baby or ye juma. And Amantana, Bashiru Amantana, they say, Yaka say, or also Kuya no, who is pan and punching, Sabe you become quite the man on the crown. Yourself. Oh, young way, Ukroma, Bole, Bola point so there or Baha challenge you to say yes. I'll point to the pa, point to papa. It's good.
Better aggressive within a trap at least that is how we can be able to. Food security is very important.
Very. Okay. It's a for now. I had the discussions in the DC. Yankopon Yadoman. And then I watch yard. Hey, and then I watch there be and then I watch 20 feet. Because I can send an out here 24th. There be another watching a 20 feet. It's another watching here, the Brunia. Hey, it's no, and ya do be a better as well, torchlight too. And only DJ talks economic about bomb on your man. Just say, yeah, they will so say, oh, now you know your well, fool, no, yet to see, and I just say, said the normal goes on as here. It's in a mission be answer, okay, home. Yami Adoma, Tuesday, you bear the last edition of Torchlight, and Sun and Yami Adoma, you breaking. Na ochina morning show Ghana muntie ye no be sha me dey asada moko Koko Francis me studio assistant na me dey asada e dey ma doctor Father Alexander na executive producer na me general manager Kennedy Asante ose womo na ebo me chidom ye di dwumadie ye de ebrewo William Sangbo me da ase Bashiru Amantana onso me da ase na Samuel Agri from Food and Beverages onso me da ase DJ Toxic take over no abonyom kama ya me adom ochina ye be hia na ye de Ghana muntie ye de abrel anopa